century, Royal Enfield has produced approachable, dependable, affordable, tough, classic-looking motorcycles. Well, back then they weren't classic-looking, they were just motorcycles. But they've stuck to their guns, so to speak, and mastered their craft. And I really appreciate that about them. Now, when they released the 650 Twins, they wanted the world to notice, and it worked because the GT Continental and the Interceptor were received so well by pretty much everybody. But they still needed to take care of their core consumer with the lower displacement bikes. And what we have today is their latest offer in that department, the 2021 Royal Enfield Meteor 350. The bike is powered by a 349cc single overhead cam air oil-cooled single-cylinder engine that makes 20 horsepower at 6,200 RPM and 24 Nm of torque at 3,500 RPM. Stopping power is provided by a 2-piston floating caliper 300mm disc with ABS up front and a 1-piston floating caliper 270mm disc with ABS at the rear. Keeping bumps at bay, you got a 41mm telescopic fork up front and twin shocks, preload adjustable at the back. Tires, you get 100 by 90 on 19 up front and 140 by 70 on 17 at the rear. You got a mixture of LED and normal lights. Unfortunately, the actual headlight is not LED, but you do get the DRL ring, and that is LED. The indicators are standard halogen lamps, the front and the back. However, the brake light, which is also very important, is LED. I always love the dash of Royal Enfield. I mean, there's something about it that with the classic look, has a little bit of a modern touch, but it always feels and looks premium to me. And this one is no exception. So you do have the classic analog look, but it does have some digital components as well. Plus, they actually give you, this is something new, they give you a navigation system right here that uses Google. So Google Maps can be used with the Royal Enfield app, connect to your phone, and then you can find, this will be really, really handy when you need to navigate through the streets of Manila or wherever you are. So it's got the normal stuff. Fuel indicator, as you can see. It also has your auto, your trip meters, your speedo. So it's got the necessary information here. It also has a gear indicator, which I really appreciate. Royal Enfield calls this colorway the Fireball Yellow, and it's actually my favorite one of the bunch. And I love that it's not so chromed out. What you typically see as chrome on the other models, the handlebar, the pipes, I love that it's black and yellow on this one, and that's kind of like my thing. That's kind of like my favorite colorway, especially on this bike. The seat, well, the pillion seat is nice and plush and comfortable. The grab rails right here, nice and sturdy, and it's kind of, you know, blends in quite well with the design of the bike. The main seat is nice and wide, and it's kind of fun. It says low ride here if it isn't obvious just yet standing next to it. The seat's really comfortable, I have to say, and it's a very chill ride. I mean, Royal Enfield, the 650s are already very chill, but this one is even more chill. And if you're just, you know, want to cruise down the street and cruise along in the city or wherever it is that you live, this is a very, very good option. I do wish the bike came with spoke wheels though. I think it would have looked perfect on a classic looking motorcycle like this. The seat height is 754 millimeters. This bike should be confidence inspiring for beginners because of the height, despite the wet weight of 190 kilograms. Considering it's a 350, it does seem kind of heavy, but you know, it is a Royal Enfield who typically make solid heavy bikes. It's actually kind of light. So it is a cruiser, so the riding position is pretty, well, relaxed. So the verdict, should you consider this boy next door type cruiser? Well, in my opinion, you should. It's got old school charm with some modern day technology. It's relatively affordable. It's gonna be relatively easy to maintain. And I just think it's a no frills, good looking, reliable motorcycle. The 2021 Royal Enfield Meteor 350 starts at 232,000 Philippine pesos. That, I do believe, is a pretty good deal.